New York, and on the new Hot 97 app. Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Ebro in the morning on a beautiful summer day, as you can see, in New York City as I lounge with my exquisite attire.
This is new. I've never seen you introduce yourself, your own attire.
You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just beautiful art styles, Rosenberg, heavy Jordans, and Freeway was scoring down.
What's good, bro?
Yo, you still rocking Yeezys out here?
Yeah, man, you know.
Still supporting the bro, huh?
Why not?
Did you like Yeezy's album? Yeah, the Ye album.
I like some of the joints on there. I see where he was going with it.
Yeah. Did you like Nas's most recent album?
Love Nas. I love that. I love what they did with it. The production, the bars, you know, the concept, everything was straight.
There's a lot. How do you feel? And we can keep going. The Carters put out an album. That's amazing.
It's amazing. It's a great time for music right now. You know, especially this month. The releases that we had, you know, Push Your album was crazy. You know, it was a good month for music, man.
As a hip hop fan and somebody who's been doing this for a while, how does it feel to see this? I guess we've been talking about it like it's a higher height, right? A married couple with 3 kids on tour doing stadiums in rap music puts out a collab. You know what I mean? Like we never seen. So for me, it's historic and
keep pushing the envelope, man.
Yeah.
You know, pushing the culture, man. I'm just happy to be affiliated, you know.
And yeah, you're still Roc Nation, correct?
Yep, most definitely.
And tell us about how you're doing. The other day, Beans put up a post about saying that there was hope. You'd received a phone call to get a new kidney. We know you've been dealing with this.
Yeah, for the people that don't know, September 2015, I was diagnosed with end-stage renal failure. So I got to do dialysis 3 times a week, 4 hours a day.
Damn.
You know, it's a huge lifestyle adjustment for me, but, you know, we soldiers, so I'm dealing with it. The other day, I actually got the first call that I ever got from the people that call you for the kidneys. And they was like, you know, they're going to call me back in 2 to 4 hours. They was like, is it a possibility that I can get it? Yes. Is it 100%? No. You know, because they call, like, the top 10 people on the list.
Yeah.
Right.
You got to come now.
They got to, like, cross-match your blood, make sure everything works. And then if it's a go, then you got to get straight there. I think you got, like, 4 hours to get there or something like that. So the kidney wound up not working for anybody. Like, the number shot up at the last minute on the kidney, so it wasn't usable for anybody. Yeah, like the levels.
Okay.
Like, you know, so.
What people don't know too, also, even after the operation, right? It's not guaranteed either, right? There's times where you can get a kidney.
Sometimes they still fell after the operation. Sometimes you might have to do dialysis a couple times just to jumpstart the kidney, just to get it working.
Right.
So.
As the body accepts it.
Yeah.
My father was on dialysis and was dealing with that before he passed. He had diabetes really bad and then went into these other things. And the sitting on that machine, I don't know if everybody understands what dialysis is. It's basically maybe you want to
take us through what it's like.
Yeah. Then what happened to your father? That's the same thing that happened to me. I got kidney failure from high blood pressure and diabetes. And they're like 2 of the leading risk factors. Another risk factor is just being African American, you know. So I was running around with 3 of the risk factors and I was unaware of it. But the process of dialysis does what your kidney does, and that's clean all the toxins and the fluids out of your blood. So when I go to dialysis, they sit me in a chair, they hook me up to a machine. I have one needle that goes right here, then I have another needle that goes right here. And the first needle drains the blood out, it put it in the machine, go through the cycle, cleans it, and then the other needle put the blood back in my body, and the process takes 4 hours.
And is it painful at all or no?
I mean, it's not really too painful. Sometimes
it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, the needle might hurt when they stick it because the needle's like this big. They stick these big ass needles in your arm, and they give me like this cream to heal, to put it on there so it could be like a little numb before I go to treatment. Like today, when I leave New York, I gotta go straight to treatment, like 3:00, and I didn't even bring the cream with me, so I know that shit really hurt a little bit when they stick me with the needles, you know, but. It's all good.
So now that you're at the top of the list, or now that you're getting the calls, does that mean you'll likely get more now that you've made it that high?
Yeah, most definitely. That's what they told me when they called me back. They was like, just be patient, you know. Now that you're starting to get a call, this looks like a good sign.
Right. So you might get your hopes up because the call comes, but it might not be that one. But don't give up. And now, if you do get it, that means there's a chance that the kidney will work for you. And in theory, if it did, and your body took to it, and you stayed healthy, you could regain normalcy. Is that correct?
Yeah, getting a kidney will double my life expectancy. From the gate. But. Dialysis is just something temporary. The longer you're on dialysis, it wears and tears your body, So
just because it's not natural.
Yeah, just because it's not natural, and the processes you go through, it might lead to other complications. I've been doing it since 2015, and there's people that's in my dialysis unit that have been doing it for like 10 years. Like I remember it's a few people that was walking in there when I first came. Now they like on walkers and got canes and stuff like that. It takes a wear and tear on your body.
Well, there's also too, because your kidneys aren't functioning, there's nutrition and things that your body isn't getting from
processing the right way.
Processing
exactly.
the right
That's
way.
why you got to do your best to, do everything that the doctors tell you, and make sure that you putting good stuff in your body.
My father, who actually passed away on a dialysis machine.
Sorry to hear that.
And had a heart attack. And
that just happened to me probably like 2 months ago. I was in dialysis, and a guy was next to me, and he just checked out. Like he started turning green, and they put like the little barricades up so I couldn't see it, but I seen it, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Like,
and a lot, y'all make, obviously I have a lot of family members who have heart disease, kidney failure, heart attack, diabetes. Black folks, right, in America, right? I think it's, and I get on the air and I talk about water, and I talk about coming off soda and how you eat and eating natural, and we talk a lot about food deserts and being low income and in the hood and not knowing how to eat and thinking that cultural foods are the best things for you because it's what your grandmother ate and your grandmother ate, and reminding people that a lot of the foods that we consumed that were passed on through black culture weren't necessarily foods that were consumed by choice. It was the last option.
Yep, and it's the same thing that's going on now, especially in the inner cities, in the hood. You got corner store with a bunch of junk in it, Chinese store right next to it, liquor store right next to it. We don't have many options.
Yo, and Trip, so, the Chinese food that we eat, great food. Love some General Tso's chicken, right? But it's deep fried. It's fried in mad grease.
And the sodium, it's high in sodium too. Like the sodium be through the roof.
I recently went to a Chinese restaurant in Fort Lee, New Jersey. Nice place. In the back, they have the American Chinese food section.
What do you mean in the back?
In the back of the menu.
Oh.
So you're going through the menu and you're looking for the Chinese food that you're like, oh, they don't eat that Chinese food.
It's like a nice place, you mean?
Yeah.
And they don't have the General Tso's and the stuff like that.
They have it in the American Chinese food section.
Right.
So those, and I'm just saying that the food in those neighborhoods is cheaply made, unhealthy food, and that's why the prices are usually lower. But the point is it's not healthy, and it's definitely not healthy the way black bodies, and I can't speak to everyone because everybody's cultural differences, food affects different people different ways. Mm-hmm. A lot of black people should not be eating a lot of the food that is available in our neighborhoods. That's just our...
Yeah, that's where it starts. It starts with what you put in your body. That's what leads to high blood pressure and leads to diabetes. Like I was on the road just doing... Y'all seen how fat I was. Like I was just eating whatever I want. I remember being on tour with Jay, and he would be eating like crab cakes and like baked chicken and stuff like that. And he like, I'm telling y'all better watch what y'all eating. You young, running, not paying them no attention, eating cheeseburgers 3 in the morning. You know what I mean?
Literally early.
And it really took a toll on me,
What were some of the, because you mentioned you were running around with some of the, what were some of the symptoms that you first started noticing when you were like, okay, something's actually wrong with my body?
I was getting real fatigued. Like I was like abnormally tired. Like I would get tired just coming out the house, walking to the car, and then it came to a point where food started tasting funny to me. I couldn't hold nothing down.
So you would throw up?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is around how long ago?
Then I went to the doctors. This was probably like a month or two before I got diagnosed.
So just a few years ago.
It was in 2015. I got diagnosed September 2015. So
Now, were you heavy up till that point? Like, were you heavy in the way that you'd been heavy at your at the Rock Heights?
I wasn't that heavy. I probably was like 220.
Okay,
You know,
so down a little bit from where you'd been.
down a
but
little bit. And then once I, like that month or two where I was like getting real sick, I started dropping weight because I couldn't take nothing in. You know.
And when you look back on your childhood, do you see a pattern of eating that was just always bad in terms of what was the options were?
Yeah, most definitely. Like, just alone myself, I was eating crazy. But, when you have family events, family come together, fried chicken, turkey, mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, everything got a ton of salt on it. That's just how it is,
And on top of that, we talk about man, we cover these topics, man, and I just, I'm so thankful that you're willing to be, open about it, because not everybody's willing to share the personal stories.
Yeah, it's all good,
so that's
man.
a blessing. But when you're poor, having a feast, it for the moment of gathering and eating a lot of food feels like wealth. It feels like we got something. So if you look at a lot of people who come from low income, like having the feast, like how many rappers have we seen sit at the big table? Even Italian Americans, when black folks is imitating that mobster lifestyle at a feast with the family, or that's a symbol of like, oh, we got stuff. We can eat big and gather and look wealthy and celebrate, but eating like that every day is
that's the part I wanted to point out, is that I think part of it that I see, and this is what makes it such a economic issue, is all cultures have that to some extent, right? Like growing up Jewish in the suburbs,
everybody,
holidays come, people eat a lot in blah, blah. The difference is
2, 3, 4 plates. Holidays you go crazy.
But then
holidays.
the difference is, I believe, from an economic standpoint, is if you're well-to-do, when Monday comes back, whatever the day is, you're back to eating regular food. If you're in a place where there are no options, Monday comes, the feast is over. Now you're at the Chinese spot getting General Tso's
I'm taking you
chicken.
somewhere else. If you're low income and you're depressed every day, guess what you're doing every day to try to compensate?
Of course.
For the fact that you don't love your surroundings, your reality, your family dynamic, the amount of money you're making.
It's comfortable. That moment when you're eating that shitty food is comfortable.
They call it comfort food.
That's why they call it comfort food.
It's the one drug we have that works for everything. It's like sad, food. Happy, food. Bored, food. Everything food.
And people we gotta eat. You gotta eat to live. So,
well, it's how you eat, what you eat. Now, can you talk a little bit about Philly and everything that's happening in Philly? Which, from the outside looking in, there's a lot of amazing things happening from the sports world. The entertainment side, but also with what we've seen change with the district attorney, what's going on with Meek Mill's case and mass incarceration discussions. And you live there, that's your city.
Yeah, I was just down there the other day.
At the rally, right?
Yeah, it was the day that I got the call. Actually, I was in the car on my way to the rally to support Meek when I got the call. But as far as sports and everything, it's a great time for the city. Everything feels great. Eagles won a Super Bowl. Sixers was doing amazing. They didn't go all the way, but they doing amazing, and they're a young team, and it's looking like the next few years is going to be amazing for them, So it's a good vibe in the city. As far as what's going on with Meek, alhamdulillah, they let him out, but he's still rumbling. He went to court the other day, and the judge still didn't throw the case out. She's still holding on for some strange reason, man. So hopefully,
it's not a strange reason. It's the reason is I believe that they impose their will upon people to show that the public cannot make us, as the judiciary system, the justice system, as politicians, change our behavior. We change our behavior either because y'all vote us out and we're forced to, right? Or when we decide to, not just because of likes and tweets and rallies. You know what I'm saying? And I think that we've seen that press. I mean, look what we're watching with the president right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The whole country's like, yo, what are you doing separating kids from moms and families? And he's like, yeah, nah, y'all give me my wall, or this is how we gonna keep moving.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. They definitely imposing their will on the people, man, 100%. You know, and like only thing we can do is do things like come together and rally and just try our best to let our voice be heard. I've been through the prison system. I got arrested for possession with intent to deliver in 1999, and when I went to court, I was like in a house when I was hustling. And when I went to court, the cops that locked me up, they didn't have a warrant, so they was in there like, no, we seen him on the streets. He made a hand-to-hand cell on the streets. And I'm like, damn, I don't got no chance in this joint. Like, the cops is lying on me, and I'm just a little kid from the hood, and it's my word against theirs. It's like I felt like I ain't had no win at all, you know?
Do you feel like the city dynamic of with the this new district attorney and politicians paying attention to what they're doing to help young people have other options other than hustle is taking place in Philly?
Yeah, most definitely. You know, and with the whole situation with Meek, it shined a huge light on what's going on in the city. So it's a lot of eyes open. So that's a good thing, you know. And we just gotta try our best, man, because it's crazy. You see what happened to the two young brothers like a few months ago in Starbucks. They got arrested for just sitting there.
And that's a neighborhood that's gentrifying.
Yeah.
So that Starbucks is located in a neighborhood where there's a lot of white people moving in, and the community that was there, which was predominantly black, is getting forced out.
Yep, it's like that in each section of the city. Like where I'm from in North Philly, you see that they trying to push us out. You know, they doing a lot of gentrifying, and like a lot of white people are moving in. Like this whole section of the city, which is North Philly, they renamed it Northern Liberties, and they
doing the renaming skit out there.
Oh, we love the
rename skit. Spaha, Spanish. So bro.
Yeah, Stuyvesant Heights.
They threw a bunch of condos up. It's like they trying to push us out.
Well, they not only make it expensive, but they now make you uncomfortable through arrests and harassment and things like that.
It's a few people that like still got houses, and they not trying to get their houses up, and they trying to get them out too. Like, you know, they trying to like force them to get out of their houses, man.
Free, what are you doing? Is anything, obviously you're dealing with a lot right now, and you seem to have a good spirit about it, but what are you getting joy from right now? Where are you going to, like, what makes you happy these days?
Man, I'm just happy, man, just to be alive, man, because the situation could have went either way. It could have been something that was way worse. And you know, me being Muslim, I realized that God is not going to put nothing on me that I can't handle. And that's the mindset that I had going into the whole situation, you know. And, you know, my music definitely makes me happy. You know, I got the new situation with Roc Nation, which is a great thing. I'm dropping the album Thank Free this Friday. I'm getting a great response from the records that we put out. I got a partnership with Roc Nation. I own my masters. This is the first time in my career where I can say I own my masters, you know, which is a blessing to me, you know. So you got to take the good with the bad.
Have you had, in dealing with this Roc Nation situation, have you had interactions with Jay directly on it?
Yeah, Jay the one that made it happen for me. You know, I reached out to him a few years ago when we did the B-sides thing, and I had gave him some music, and I'm like, definitely need to get back home. And you know, he was interested then, but I had an independent situation where I owed this independent label another album. So as soon as I put that out and got it out the way, I reached back out, big homie, I need to make it happen. And he was like, it's nothing, let's do it.
Who's featured on your album? I saw you were working with Faith Evans. Who else was on there?
Yeah, shout out to Faith Evans. You know, every time we collaborate, it's always beautiful music. You know, I got Lil Wayne on the album. We got a crazy joint on there. I got Jadakiss on the album. I got Joe Crack the Don on the album. I got BJ the Chicago Kid on the album. Chameleon. I got Lil Uzi Vert on the album.
Philly.
One time for the city.
Philly.
We got a crazy joint on there together.
Dope, man.
Yeah, the album is amazing, man. I can't wait for the world to hear it.
That's really exciting, man.
It's Ebro in the morning. Freeway. Pick up that new album. What's the title?
Think Free.
Think Free.
June 22nd.
Friday.
Freeway, give it up one time.
Yeah.
Yo, man, thank you for coming by the program, brother.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate all the love.
I guess other than praying and rooting for you, with regard to kidney, and getting the kidney. That's really all we could do as
Is there anything anyone could do?
supporters and fans.
Yeah, just give me your support, man. You know, just keep me in your prayers. I also got a documentary called Think Free that's dropping, and it covers my battle with kidney failure from when it first happened to present date. So the reason why I did that, because like I was telling you, I was running around with three of the leading risk factors, and I was unaware of it. So I just want to spread awareness and just open up people's eyes and let them know, man, it's so important to keep up with your routine physicals. Make sure you get blood work done at least once a year.
And get off these food addictions, man.
And leave all that BS alone, man, because it's killing us.
Also, too, you can support Freeway. What is the beard thing you was putting me up on?
Best beard cream.
Do people know that's yours?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Best beard cream.
Yeah.
Where can they find that?
It's online. You know, we got an Instagram page, Best Beard Cream. We got a website, www.bestbeardcream.com. You know.
These dialysis bills are expensive, fam. So let's buy some beard cream and get this Freeway out.
Someone here in this group appears that they could be the most beneficial from wonderful Best Beard Cream.
Let's get some moisturizing going
you
on.
need to start using some more of your
No, you. No, you.